Hey, everybody. Welcome to the MURCA Guns and Freedom Podcast with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. As usual, this is just an open conversation between myself and my viewers, you. So if you've got something you want to ask me, a topic you want me to address, or if you want to challenge me on something I've said that you disagree with, you're one of these people that thinks completely different than me on something, come on in, let yourself be heard. If you want, I'll even give you time. We'll make a video where you get to express yourself. You get to challenge my opinions. You can put it on your website, whatever you want to do on your channel, however you want to deal with it. Or you can just leave me snarky comments, whichever way you want to do it. I welcome opinions that are different than mine, because, when you hear other people's opinions, you either do one of two things. You either change your mind or you reinforce your own opinions by seeking out facts to back you up. So I appreciate it and I like it. So feel free to do it. Now, before we get to the questions coming in here tonight, I want to read if we got any orders today. I did not see any, but I want to read them. If we did, oops, it's signed me out. So let me get signed back in here real quick and see if any orders came in today. And if any orders come in during the chat, I will. Oh, no, wait, we did get some. I didn't see these. Mark Zimmer. Oh, yeah, this came in last night late. I actually saw this come in. Mark Zimmer bought his t-shirt. He helping support the TYMP program. If you don't know, merchandise sales help support TYMP. And I forgot to take down the live chat. There we go. Merchandise sales help support TYMP, where we every month. Oh, I meant to send that list out today. I'll send it out tomorrow. Don't let me forget. I got busy with 1504 today and forgot. But TYMP is when we choose 4 people. This month it'll be 6 people. And every month we choose those people and we help them. We provide them with a firearm, a basic firearm or shotgun. So, handgun or shotgun, so that they can defend themselves and their family when they wouldn't otherwise be able to afford to do so. So if you want to support that, you think that's a good idea, go over, buy some merchandise, or become a Subscribe Star member. You can do everything from TYMPpistolproject.com. Just so you know, anything you want to do to help support the channel, become a Patreon member, become a Subscribe Star member, buy merchandise, all of it can be done from TYMPpistolproject.com. And that includes registering to be a recipient of TYMP. So I wanted to thank also Tim Fast Salami. He ordered a shirt. He got the Washington Resist, the Resisting Communism shirt, which I was starting to wonder if maybe he was a communist because he hadn't bought it. But now he bought it, so I know he's not a communist. We don't have any new patrons or Subscribe Star members today to read, so I don't have to welcome anybody there. Let's go over to the actual live chats coming in, see if we got anything coming in through PayPal here. All right, where were we? Activity, all transactions. Let's see if any of these are actually questions and not sales. What's today's date? Today's the 3rd. Gerald Pompa did his normal monthly donation. Some people donate through PayPal monthly instead of being a member of Subscribe Star or Patreon. So he did his. That's an order. Edgar Cortez did a big donation today. He got himself like 10 entries into the Silver Bullet drawing, which we will be doing on the 5th, by the way, from the last month's entries. If you want to get entries this month, the way you get entries into the Silver Bullet drawing, where we give away a real functional silver bullet, either werewolf, cowboy, or vampire. And the vampire ones are actually silver with a is it myrtle wood? What kind of wood is it? But it's got a wood core. So if you shoot through the heart, it takes them out. So you get to choose which one you want, what caliber you want, from what's available. Sometimes they don't have certain things in. You can wait for them to come in, but usually I'd choose something that's available. They'll have something you got. They got 357 Magnum, 9mm, 40, 38 better. They got all kinds of stuff over there. So you'll find something. And if you want to get registered to win it, every $5 donation you do through Super Chats to Pets and Vets programs gets you 1 entry. So let's get over here. And Edgar Cortez did not say anything, but he did get his entries into the drawing. Dale Riggedy got him an entry into the drawing and paid his tithe to Phil and said, HB 1504 is dead. Yippee. Now let's fight more. Yes, we will. We will definitely keep fighting. That one, it's just a perfect example of how desperate they're getting, but they're trying whatever they can try. And a lot of times now they're not even getting it out of committee because it's so egregious, because they can't go after our right to keep and bear arms now because it has been declared an individual right to keep and bear firearms. So they don't have the old attack methods anymore. They can't restrict it in the ways they used to. They've also been told public safety does not override the Constitution. So they're getting desperate, and it shows. They're running out of things to write at the Everytown Foundation. And they're the ones that write these laws. All these anti-gun bills that come into Washington, they're not written by Washington politicians. They're written by Bloomberg's people. They just hand them off, and then they put them into the record and vote on them. And when you request, like when you sue against the law or the bill and you request information, it doesn't even come from the politicians that supposedly wrote it. It comes from Bloomberg headquarters, the responses, because they're the ones who wrote it. The politicians don't even know what they're passing or proposing. That's pretty sad, if you ask me. Mike P. White also donated here and got 2 entries into the Silver Bullet drawing. He said, my weekly donation for all this fine entertainment. What, you don't come on weekends? I better not see your ass in here on the weekends then, or else I'm telling Phil. I will tell. I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I got snitch face. I will tell. Like Dave Chappelle says, I got snitch face. I'm telling Phil. And then someone said something about hat. Yeah, this was sent by a viewer. Free hat, dude. My favorite type of hat. This is actually a nice hat, too. This is that nice kind of almost like, I don't know what kind of material you'd say this is, but it's like a sports, like baseball pants almost material. And got a really nice red Ruger logo on it. And I like Ruger, and I like free hats. So they sent a bunch of them. A couple of them, I don't know what they are. One of them's got like a rainbow on the front that says something like Pop Mac or something. I don't know what it says, but this one, maybe they can tell me what it means, because I don't know what it means. But Joe Pearson also chimed in here and got an entry into the drawing. YouTube won't let me super chat. My hated one is fanning a revolver and twirling the lever action to cock it. I think that's cool. Don't you think that's cool? But yeah, that's bad for the guns when they do that. Do that with your lever action a lot. See how quickly you break your gun. Also, fanning a revolver. Yeah, I want to bend my crane too, and destroy I want to destroy my hammer lockup too. So, but if some guns can take it, some guns can't. Now, some single action. I've got one I don't think it would take it, but it's built to take it. That's why it's got that roller on top of the hammer so that you But usually you're going to fuck up your gun if you do that. I hate seeing that. I hate to see them spin the cylinder and flip it home. Like, you're going to bend your yoke so bad. The yoke's going to be not yoke. It's going to be so bent. It's not an egg. It's a gun. Seems like some people have trouble telling when I say yoke or yoke. They think I say things funny. All right, now let's get back over to the questions here. Johnny Mandrick chimed in, got a few entries into the Silver Bullet drawing, and said, do you know any internet gun experts to watch? Now that Paul Harrell's gone, I can't find any to watch. Well, I'm subscribed to a lot of them, but I don't think I've found a good channel in a long time that I watch for information. Now, like I watch Suits and stuff when I want to have verification that I should buy a gun, because he loves everything he sells. So he's great for it's like going to a used car salesman and say, hey, tell me why I should buy this used car. So I watch that sometimes if it's a specific gun, but I've just stopped following a lot of gun people because it's all just sales now. It's all just buy this, buy that. Here's a discount code. Buy this, buy that. Here's a discount code. Or it's fear mongering. I can't stand the fear mongering. I'm fine when you actually have something threatening to say, like if someone in your state, they're passing laws that are horrible or something, bring it out and point out the ridiculous nature of your laws. But to just like Democrats are eating babies and they're going to come and take your guns and blah, no, if all you're doing is fear mongering, then just shut the fuck up. You're not part of the solution. You're part of the problem. So it's just really hard. But I support a lot, like Liberty Doll and lots of others. We give out over $1,000 every month to different gun channels. Now it's not all like $5. Some of them are $5, but then there's some that are 100, a month. But a lot of them are 10, a lot of them are 20. So we give, like I said, like $1,000 a month to try to support as many voices as we can. But if you find any good ones, let me know. I didn't watch Paul Harrell a lot, but I still liked him when I did watch him. I don't watch a lot of gun stuff on YouTube because I'm always dealing with gun politics and gun stuff. And it's like when I have time to myself, I'm watching wrestling videos. I'm watching fail videos, people get hit in the nuts, falling down. I like scare videos too. I watch stuff like that on YouTube all the time. A lot of wrestling stuff, a lot of podcasts for wrestling, Jim Cornette, Dutch Mantel, all those people. And lately I've been watching this guy, I don't remember his name, like Chris Tennell or something. I forget what his name is, but he's a Canadian. He's a snarky Canadian guy who reviews monster movies and stuff. I've been watching his reviews of some older movies, like the Godzilla series, like the Soho and Rodan and Gamera series, stuff like that. Because I like those old movies. And the other night for some reason on YouTube, I came across a movie called The Dark that I remember trying to watch back in like 1983 on HBO. I sat up to watch that. It was running late on HBO, like at midnight. And I fell asleep like right after it started. I got to watch like the first 5 minutes and fell asleep. And I'd never have seen the movie since then. But I've always remembered that I tried to watch this movie and I'd kind of like to get to finish it. It was on YouTube the other night. It's called The Dark. So I watched it from beginning to end. And it was horrible. But I was so happy to finally get closure on that. All right, where are we at? Officer Tater Hater paid his $2 tithe to Phil and said, "When you speak at a 2A rights, put me on speaker. They need to hear about what I think should happen to cops fighting." Now, I don't think I'm going to do that. You've got potty mouth. I don't know if anybody knows it or not, but he's got potty mouth. So I'm not going to be putting him on speaker. The bearded hamster just chimed in and said, "Difference between silent revolution and thinking you're above the law, like bipolar people, assuming silent revolution people don't want to get caught." I think it's kind of the other way around. People who think they're above the law don't want to get caught. It's like I've always said, if you're one of these I will not comply types, and like I've done videos where I'm like, look at this, I broke the law. I mean, I've got videos online right now that say that, like, oh, I'm not supposed to have these magazines. Oh, I don't know how I got them. Things like that. That's not complying. And that leans more towards activism. If you're just someone that's like, I don't care what the law is, I'll just do what I want, and they're never going to catch me. That's not being an activist. That's just thinking you're above the law. If you're doing it for selfish reasons, like just because I want this and ain't no one going to tell me I can't, well, then you're not really an activist. If you do it openly and you say, come try to do something about it. Like I've made a video before saying, Bob Ferguson, come try to do something about it. Complying and not even trying to hide the fact that they're not complying. If you're not complying and you're hiding it, well, then you're not really revolting, are you? There's no revolution involved. If you're not inspiring others, well, what are you really doing? Jacoby said, "What gun do you actually think you're going to get next? Do you think it would be sweet and awesome?" The next one's going to not be sweet or awesome. It's going to, well, it might be both those things, but it's mainly going to be to replace my deep carry gun. And I don't know which I'm getting yet, but let's just say this. On YouTube, when I did the YouTube video asking what gun people would vote for, the winner by far was the Beretta, the option one on YouTube. On and number 2, I think, was the 36. So number 1 was the Beretta, number 2 was the 36. On Patreon, when I did a poll for my patrons, the winner was the Ruger LCR, and number 2 was the Beretta. And when I did it on Instagram, the winner was number 1, the Beretta, and number 2 was, I think, the Ruger LCR. So I got to kind of figure it out. It seems like there's different winners in different places, and like one got first place on 2 of the polls, and one got second place on 2 of the polls and first on 1. So I got to figure out some sort of method to decide. Now, I will say I do have a holster for both. Any of the 32s we get. Someone said, well, whichever one you got a holster for? Well, I've got holsters for J-frame, so that's not a problem. And I also have a holster here for a Beretta Tomcat. So I'll be fine. Just which one I have a holster for, it doesn't work in this case. So I don't know which one I'm getting first. I bought the gray Magpul backpacker stock today just for you. Oh, I want one of those. I've got the 9, the Camp 9 or whatever they fucking call that thing, PC 9, whatever it's called. I've got it. I just want that stock so I can. Mine's a takedown. I think are they all takedowns? But it's a takedown. You can take it apart, but it doesn't lock together. So I want that stock very badly. It's only like $150, which is more than I got to spare. Jacoby says, get the Bobcat. Your Tomcat needs a brother. Well, the Tomcat would be the one I'd buy. Did I say Bobcat? The Bobcat's not an option because I don't want to carry 22 for self-defense. I do want a Bobcat, though. I would really like to have the one with the threaded barrel and the suppressor height sights, but you can't get that in Washington, so so it's impossible. But I'd like to put a can on that. That'd be a good gun. So if I had that gun and then I somehow ended up with a threaded barrel and the suppression height sights, I would get that and put a can on it. The bearded hamster said, do a lot of Americans think they're above the law? I don't think so. I don't think the vast majority of Americans think they're above the law. I think most people understand the importance of law and order and that civil social contract you have as part of a society. I think most people take that seriously. The people who don't are usually the people that you put in charge, like the politicians, and the people that think that they know better than everybody else simply because they were born with money. So those people, the rich people and the politicians, are the ones that usually think they're above the law. And unfortunately, they're usually right. Until we start holding them accountable, they're right. Right now, you can even see it with Elon Musk is wanting to go after South Africa because South African government is doing the thing where back when apartheid was a thing, people like Elon Musk's family went in and illegally seized lands from the proper owners, people that legally owned the land. But under the apartheid administration, that wasn't recognized. So they took those lands, held them for themselves, and now they still have them. And a lot of people are trying to we need to negotiate to get these back into the hands of the original owners. And they're like, oh, South Africa is being very mean to certain groups of people. Yeah, the rich white people that stole all the land under apartheid. I don't think that constitutes a crisis. But Elon Musk thinks it does because that's his family that they're going after. So he thinks he's above the law and all these other things. He don't think he should ever have to be held accountable, or his family. But I don't know. I hate to break it to you. If I found out right now, if we all found out right now that the ATF came in, and there's been cases similar to this. ATF came in and found that some people living in had a bunch of houses together, and they kind of had a commune, and they found out they were breaking laws, and they said, well, we're seizing all your property and all your land. And then they kept it. And then they said, hey, the guy I know named Steve, who's the nephew of a politician who's also an industrialist, we're going to give him all the land, and he's going to get to use it from now on. Now, if we found that out and we said, these people should be given restitution for their property that you took because they never got never got convicted of anything. And even if they would have, the punishment wouldn't have been as severe as losing their home and all their property. So you owe them that back. If I think most of us would say, yeah, give them back their fucking property. But Elon Musk and them are like, no, don't give these people back their property. My family got rich off that. A lot of the land that our emerald mines are on are owned by were originally owned by other people. So, yeah, the rich people think they're above the law. Where was I at? All right, let me get back over here, make sure we're caught up on the super chats over here, because that was all the ones coming through PayPal right now, and we're caught up over there. So let's go over here and see if there's anything coming in through the live chats. Excuse me. The Walking Dead, that one guy's Glock 17, he shot like 200 times and never reloaded. Talking back about what we were talking about in the first segment of our show today about things you hate in movies. I think border mass immigration is bigger issue than gun rights at the moment. I don't think so. I would never think that a side issue like immigration is bigger than our constitutional rights. Never would I ever be brainwashed into thinking that way. Plus, there is no real crisis at the border. The real crisis is in the industrial work farms, on the industrial in the industrial factories, on the industrial work farms, and the rich people who use these people's labor because they can pay them a fifth of what they would pay a real worker and don't have to give them any benefits or anything like that. And half time don't even send their taxes they collect from them to the federal government. Until we stop them from doing that, people are going to keep coming. And until we stop governments that also, like California, profits heavily off of illegal immigrants. So they give them free housing and they let them go to school and they let them do all this other stuff because, hey, we are making fortunes off your free labors. We want you to keep coming here. Until those things are dealt with, nothing you do at the border is going to make any difference. Chrissy Noam or whatever her name is, fucking old dog killer, riding a horse on the border made up like a whore. That's not going to have anything. It's not going to do anything but make the stupidest people happy who love political theater. It's not going to do anything about the border crisis. I hate when suppressors in movies make the gun sound super quiet. Yeah, I do that too. We covered that one actually. What I hate worse is guys shot by, this is back to the topic from today's chat. Let's try to get to where I'm answering actual questions here. But when pine or lemon grandes can blow up a building is cringeworthy. Yeah. What piece are you actually going to buy next? I already answered that question. I don't know yet. I'm late getting here, but I laugh when I hear the sound of a hammer cocking. Oh yeah, I do that too when they pull out a Glock. When I find what I find most gun tubers is fear mongering, shills, and blowing things up. Nothing like Paul Harrell exists anymore. That's what most of them are now. That's the only ones that can still make money because YouTube is okay with you fear mongering and blowing stuff up. As long as you're not making a valid point or trying to unify people, they won't really give you much shit. And selling merchandise, shilling's the only way to make really money. You got to get sponsors and stuff. If I ever had to start getting sponsors and stuff on YouTube, I'd just stop doing YouTube. And or watching videos on how to fix your bumper and collar match it. Well, yeah, I watch stuff on cars. I watch a lot of car videos. Guess it should have been car videos on how to set your cart and brake. I think Phil did that. Did we freeze? I don't think so. Did the feed freeze for anybody out there? He froze as soon as you stared at the camera. Sometimes it does that for some reason. I'll do like a pause and then I start, and like the first few seconds of the video is frozen. And it seems like it always does it right when I have a pause and then I start. I think they don't like that pause or something. I had to put notifications on it. It's frozen for a second, but it'll come back. Did you see the viral video of the Michigan man who got shot in the foot during a home invasion? Every gun owner should learn from that victim's mistake. No, I did not see that video. Filbert the Beaver predicted 6 more weeks of winter. Have you ever seen Filbert at the Oregon Zoo in Portland? I don't know. I might have, but I didn't get his name. I don't really get the names of them when I'm there. If you had to choose, which would you carry as an EDC, Beretta or SIG? Beretta. I carry Berettas way more than I carry SIGs. I love SIGs, but I love Berettas more. In that Michigan burglary, the intruder's handgun had an extended magazine. That's all the more reason why mag limits don't make any sense for lawful gun owners. I don't know how. They don't make sense, period. But I don't know how it pertains to that specific thing. Why not just EDC something like a Ruger GP100? Why EDC a Colt Python? But that's not a deep carry gun. Yes, froze as soon as you told Turd Ferguson to come do something about it. Did it come back, I hope, quickly? Because I got to post that later. All right, let's see if I'm caught up. I think I'm done with all the questions. I think I got everything answered over here. We got one more coming in on the YouTube side here. The Bearded Hamster says, so families who secretly not comply are wrong. Well, I wouldn't say you're wrong, but you're not engaging in any type of revolution. You're not trying to make any change. You're not a freedom fighter. Let's just say that. A lot of people think they're a fucking freedom fighter simply because they're selfishly disobeying a law for their own purposes, but not encouraging other people's or doing anything to change the law. If you're not doing anything to actively change the law or putting yourself at risk in any way that could change the law, well, then you're not really doing any type of activism. You're just not complying. And there's a big difference. And not complying is fine, but don't pretend like it's more than it is. It's just not complying. I hate watching car videos because then I'm motivated to go fix or add something to my cars. Yeah, that can be that. If Gopher stuck head out of the ground in Texas, would he live long enough to see if he had a shadow? Probably. I mean, most parts of Texas are just shitholes where there's no people. So he'd probably be safe. The point I'm making about mag limits is that the burglar had the extended mag, but the homeowner did not because he followed the law. He was at a tactical disadvantage. Yeah, but that's always the case. Bad guys don't follow laws. That's just another of 1,000 examples. Yep. I like Gun Sam Revolver aficionado for ammunition ballistics testing. He doesn't talk politics or sell anything. He keeps his methods consistent with a different take on gel tests. I like some ballistics channels. It's just that I really haven't had a lot of things. I've been looking for new information on ballistically. You know what I mean? Like new rounds. I want to see what are going on with. So hasn't been a lot of, I guess, innovation in the ammo market lately. So I haven't had a lot of stuff to catch up on. If that makes any sense. What was his name? Used to do all the time. Kentucky Ballistic. Or no, what was his name? Used to do them all the time, but I don't think he really does them anymore. Jonathan Aho paid his $2 tithe to Phil. They didn't say nothing. Like I said, I still don't think he's really still alive. I think it's his wife wearing his skin. Out of curiosity, did you like Beretta before the military? Yes, I've always liked Berettas. I was one of the few people in the military that was not upset that Beretta was the duty weapon anymore. Now, because I was like, I'm fine with that. I like Beretta. Okay, Toby's sending me a thing here telling me what that hat is. Hold on. At the time, I just thought the rainbow hat was cool. Sub Pop achieved fame in the early 1990s for signing Seattle bands such as Nirvana, Soundgarden, and Mudhoney, central players in the grunge movement. That's why I don't know what the fuck they are, because I hate grunge music. I don't like it at all. They'd be like, you don't like Nirvana? No, I fucking hate Nirvana. I think Nirvana would have faded into nothing if he hadn't blown his head off, because I don't think they were all that talented. It was just whiny. It's like it'd be like finding a Nirvana song that's just not fucking whiny. I know that's not a popular opinion. What are we doing on time? We got like 9 minutes left, but we're about out of questions, I think. Trailers looking for full trailer says, I support the right to bear arms, including the home, but I support red flag laws, background checks. But HB 1504 is a tyrannical bill. Long live 2A. Well, that seemed to be the impression even most Democrats were having, because the Democratic senators were getting flooded with calls and information about people saying, hey, I'm a reasonable person who votes Democrat, and I am okay with all these other things, but this is too far. I am not, however, okay with those other things. I'm not okay with red flag laws. I'm not okay with background checks, etc. And then people, because here's the thing, main problem with red flag laws is they're too easily, the way they're written, they're too easily abused by people in authority. And they write them that way intentionally when they write the law. They make it sound like, oh, well, the mom is going to have power to help her depressed husband if he ever gets in a suicidal. Well, no, the way they write it is pretty much any elected or public or anybody who wants to actually make a move against you can do so. And they write it like that on purpose. So the bearded hamster said, so are all non-compliant people manic bipolar? Well, no. How would you make any type of connection like that? You don't have to be bipolar, especially not manic bipolar, to say that law doesn't make sense. It's a violation of my constitutional rights, and I'm not going to abide by it. Now, some people will say, I hope I never get caught because I don't want to suffer the consequences. And other people will say, and I will shout from the rooftops that I think it's unconstitutional, and I will not obey it because I do not think it should be the law, and I will do everything I can to get it changed. There's a difference there. And that difference doesn't involve any mental illness of any type. It might sometimes with some people under certain conditions, but it's not something that is a standard part of it. Some people might be mentally ill, but all right, I think that's got us all caught up on the pictures or on the questions. We didn't get any pictures tonight to share. I think that's 2 nights in a row where we didn't get any pictures. I got a lot of stuff from Officer Tater Hater to watch. Somebody sent in late today that I didn't get a chance to see yet. Oh wait, I may have got something from Shadow. Yes. Here we go. Hold on. Let me show this real quick. Present, share screen, Winder. He said, filled out paperwork today, should be able to pick it up February 19th, Taurus 605 Taurus optic ready option. Matte finish. Isn't there an E on matte? M-A-T-T-E. Finish $359. That's a damn good price for a good revolver, because those are definitely good guns. Interchangeable front sight. Looking at several options. Yeah, I'd want something like either a fiber optic or a night sight on the front. Now you're going to have a gutter rear. That's just the way it's set up. But yeah, it's definitely a good gun. I don't got a new gun coming, so fuck you. I think that was the only picture I had coming in today. Oops, Dale Rickety sent a picture of Heidi. Let's see here. Oh, look at this face. Look at that there. Look at that picture. She looks like she's looking at him like, when's this fucker going to die so I could eat him? You're not a cat. Don't eat your owner. Even though that's a misconception, the whole idea that cats eat their owners, it's usually they've got flesh missing from their faces, but that's usually because the cats have incessantly licked them after they're down, trying to get them to get up. That's often portrayed as cats trying to eat their owners. Their tongues remove flesh after a little while. That's what they're designed to do. The bearded hamster says manic bipolar people think they're above the law. That's not necessarily. That's not a clinical aspect of the. It's a what would you call it? I'm trying to think of the proper terminology here, but it is sometimes a circumstance of the condition, but it's not really part of the condition. Someone can be manic bipolar and still, hell, they could be ultra fixated on laws and stuff. That can even happen. So it's not necessarily a trait of the condition. It's just sometimes when you have that condition, laws are the last thing you think of. You don't even recognize laws a lot of time. Depends on how severe your condition is, of course. But all righty here. Let's see. I think that's it for us tonight. I think we're all caught up. We've only got 2 minutes left. If anybody's got a last question or something to shoot in, they better shoot it in now. We got 2 minutes. The youngest Gen Xers loved grunge music, while many older Gen Xers could take it or leave it. My favorite band is Stone Temple Pilots. When I worked at the Warner Brothers store, I used to work there part-time to get a discount. I'd go straight from work as a psychologist to work at the Warner Brothers store, just to get that discount, because man, I made it worth it when it came to, especially gallery days when they had everything in the gallery on sale. Boy, I would rack up. But they used to play Stone Temple Pilots on the big wall all the time, the video wall. Drive me fucking crazy. As far as Gen Xers go, I am like first or second year where you're actually considered a Gen Xer. Like if I'd have been born like a year or two earlier, I'd have been considered something else. So, which is, I think, a boomer. But I'm a Gen Xer, but I'm one of the very early Gen Xers, and I definitely don't like grunge music. Never have. I like most types of music. I like everything from country to country and Western. No, I'm not actually a big country fan. I mean, I like some country music, like I'm a Reba fan and all this other stuff, Hank Williams fan. But even went to see him in concert a couple times until I got tired of paying money to watch him get drunk and fall down halfway through the show. But I just don't like grunge. Sorry, I tried. I'm not a fan. All right, everybody. I think that is it for us today. I want to thank everybody for coming today. Let me make sure we're all caught up over here. Yes. All right. Thanks everybody for coming. Thanks everybody for participating in the conversation, keeping things rolling, providing us an hour of, a time to come here every night and actually talk with each other about common interests, just relieve a little stress and have some fun. It is appreciated, everyone that keeps things rolling. If you want to come to our chats. If you want to be part of the conversation, be part of the group, come on in. It's at 6 p.m. every night of the week, except for Wednesdays when it's at 7 p.m. So come on in, let your voice be heard. With that being said, like I said, I want to thank everybody for everything you do for the channel. It is appreciated. You're the ones that make it possible. I'll see you all again tomorrow. I got a new microphone coming tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be better. I actually got it for the Zoom call for the conference in front of the Senate, but I didn't. It's not gonna happen now. But like I said, thanks everybody for coming. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.